What's up, YouTube? Mark Sparks here again with Mass Fitness. Why aren't you losing weight? I'm going to tell you why. When you go on a diet, or when you start a weight loss program, or whatever it is you're doing, when you know at first, depending on how much weight you have to lose, at first you're going to see, you're probably going to see big results at first. For any 5, 10, I've seen people lose 15 pounds their first week. Eventually, it becomes routine for your body. Our bodies adapt. Eventually it's gonna adapt. It's gonna learn to run on this set amount of calories, and it's gonna learn the workload, and it's just not gonna be taxing your body like it needs to tax it to actually burn the fat and use that excess energy. It's kind of just like starting a new job. When you first start a new job and you're on your feet all day and you're not used to it, when your feet hurt, and within what, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, your feet don't hurt anymore, and then you're used to it. That's kind of something that I lead into when I talk to people, is you can't count your everyday routine as exercise, because your body is adjusted to that and it's used to doing that. When you're trying to lose fat, you have to continually, progressively overload. It's just like weight training. If you go in a gym and you're benching 135 pounds and you're doing 3 sets of 10 of that every week, week in, week out, that's what you're doing every time. You never add any weight, or you never do any more reps. Your body's going to get used to it. At first, yeah, you're going to see some results. You may get a little stronger. You may see a little growth, but eventually your body's going to be used to it and it becomes routine. It's the same thing with weight loss. You have to leave some room to make adjustments. Anytime I tell somebody, or I give advice on something like this, I always say, don't play all your cards at once. And what I mean by that is, when you start something, you want to leave some room to make adjustments down the road. You don't want to go all the way down to 1,000 or 1,200 calories and do an hour of cardio every single day. You want to start out making small changes. I say that a lot. Make small changes, and then when the weight loss stops, you can add something else to it. You can take away some calories, or you can add a little more cardio. Once you hit this point, once you hit this sticking point, or stalling out, or a plateau, whatever you want to call it, there's a few ways to get past it. Something I like to do, and I always recommend, is taking a cheat meal, or having a cheat meal once a week. It's worked wonders for me. I've done some pretty extreme diets in the past, and I would get to a point where I was just starving, and then I just pig out and eat whatever I wanted one day, and I'd feel guilty and go back to the diet the next day, and then actually, it was surprising to me. I'd start losing weight again. And as I've done more research over the years, there's actually a science behind that, and especially when you're at such a deficit that eventually your metabolism starts to slow down, your leptin levels start to slow down, and giving your body that cheat meal, or the technical term, a refeed meal, it'll re-nourish your body. It'll give your body the micronutrients, the vitamins and minerals that it was missing. Maybe you're not getting enough carbs, or it could be anything. Everybody's body's a little bit different. They all work the same, but everybody's genetics are different. Everybody loses weight different. Everybody gains weight different. Everybody's metabolism is slightly different. But for the most part, this little method has worked wonders for me and anybody else that I've seen try it and do it, and it's highly recommended. But it's just really as simple as eating, pick a day and just have your salad, have your meal, have a whole meal. Don't worry about the bread, don't worry about the butter. Have everything you want, even have dessert. Just don't count the calories for that meal. Do everything right leading up to that, but just once a week, have that cheat meal. I'm a big advocate of it. I do it to this day, and it works for me. Something else that you can do is you can actually carb cycle during the week, and you can make adjustments with your fats and your carbs. And I always recommend, I assume your protein is 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, which that's something I always recommend. I don't think you should ever go below that, because if you do that, then you're going to risk losing muscle along with your fat. But make some adjustments with your carbs. Lower your carbs and maybe raise your fats for a couple days, and then go back to the lower carbs, higher fats, and then go back. Those are just little tricks that you can do to manipulate your body. But if to go back to someone who's already dropped their calories all the way down, they're doing an hour of cardio every day. When you do that, you don't leave any room for change unless you want to be on the treadmill for 2 hours. I mean, it's as simple as that. If you start off slow and make small changes, you can take some calories away, add a little cardio. Take some calories away, add a little cardio, or whatever it is that you're doing. If you're weight training, maybe you can, do some extra sets or work out for an extra half an hour. And I advise, if you are weight training, then cardio for me is the last resort. I'm going to take my calories down as low as I can get them, and I will never go below 10 times my body weight. So if right now I weigh 185, 10 times that would be 1850. I'm never going to go below 1850. And I'm going to have at least 180 grams of protein. And I'm going to make my caloric adjustments with my fats and my carbohydrates. That's just my recommendations. That's something that's worked for me in the past. It's working for me right now. I've been really busy with things, and I haven't been able to be on point with my nutrition, and I'm kind of stuck. I've been stuck at about 12% body fat for like 4 months now. But, nevertheless, I'm on it now. I'm getting things back together. I'm a little less busy, and I have a little more time for meal prep. But guys, that's, I always tell people to make small changes. You're going to hear me say that a lot, because, if you get to the point, if you've restricted your calories so low and you're doing all this cardio, the only other option is to do more cardio or eat even less. We don't want to do that. That leads to, you're going to look at losing muscle right along with your fat, and that's the last thing you want to do. So, if you are at that point, if you're that person and your calories are 1,000 calories or 1,200 calories, you're doing an hour of cardio every day, and it's just, you've plateaued. Another trick you can do, like I said, you can try the carb cycling, and something else you can do is reverse diet. Just add, let's say, 200 calories a day, and then the next week add 200 more. So if you're eating 1,200 this week, add 200 and eat 1,400 calories this week. And then if the weight loss doesn't pick back up, go to 1,600. And then you can go from there. Eventually, your body's, if you keep making changes, your body's going to have to keep adapting, and it's going to pick up the fat loss again. But anyway, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends about it, like the video. Later.